Where will silver go? Price points predictions are a thing that I'm not a massive fan of, and I am definitely not a fan of the idea that this stuff will go to the moon. But I do think there is a lot of potential for silver right now, and it's something that cannot be ignored. So today we're going to talk a little bit about where things might end up for silver and how we as stackers can best prepare ourselves for what lies ahead. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble from my backyard, where you'll hear the idyllic sounds of birds in the background. It's another beautiful day in England where we will be talking about the future of gold and silver and its potential. I said in my video last weekend that I think there is something special ahead of us for gold and silver. Now, how far in the future that will be and how big that potentially will be is anybody's guess, and I'm not one of these doom and gloomers, shoot the mooners, where I think that we will see humongously large prices. But from my experience right now, silver against gold looks drastically undervalued, and it does feel like something is going to correct at some point, and that's going to come in one of two ways. Either silver will go up or gold will come down. So we'll discuss a little bit of that and my thoughts on the topic as we go throughout the video. Now, it's important to remind you all that I am not a financial advisor, an investment guru, or somebody who knows what's going to happen in the future. Nobody is able to do that, and if anyone really tells you that they know for sure that silver's going to go up, just take that with a pinch of salt. And one of the reasons I do videos like this with a kind of quizzical, pondering nature is so that we can share our thoughts and opinions, and I would love to know what you think is going to happen down in the description box below, or the comment section I should say, not the description box. In that description box you will find links to some of the very cool things that we've got going on at the moment, including a giveaway over on the Silver Forum for a chance to win this 10-ounce silver bar, so make sure you check those out. And if you have a moment to hit the thumbs up button, it really does help everything that we do here on the channel. Now, as I said, I think that there is a cosmic undervaluation of silver versus gold going on right now. Silver seems very cheap, and I certainly have noticed this in the market. People are holding on to their silver, and I think they're waiting for something bigger and better to happen. It's going to be a difficult one to know when, though. Timing that market is very hard, and certainly if you have physical silver, you've got premiums to factor in if you're buying. It's something that is not necessarily a surefire win. But I do feel that silver right now represents a better opportunity than gold does. We've seen some pretty high prices for gold, and silver has gone up, yes, but it hasn't gone up in the same way. It's certainly lagged behind. And silver being this interesting, more volatile product than gold is, it will catch up at some point. We've seen it happen time and time again in the past. And all you've got to do is look at the gold to silver ratio. That ratio indicates right now that silver is very cheap, comparatively speaking. Now, I'm not a fan of the idea of the ratio returning to something like 10 to 1, 8 to 1, whatever they say and tell you is the historical ratio of gold and silver. That's not going to happen. The markets are different to how they were 100 years ago. But I still think there is room for silver's growth to happen. Now, what will fuel that growth is what I think is most interesting. Today's video is sponsored by Ruhr Gold, whose ticker symbol is NZAUF, and that can be found down in the description box below. You can also find links to their website and corporate presentation, which we're going to have a brief look at here today. Ruhr Gold are a very interesting company, and like any company with an exposure to the bull markets for gold right now, their future certainly has some potential. Now, I am not offering financial advice, and I'm not an investment guru. Please bear that in mind and do your own research. Investing in companies like this is a more risky prospect than owning physical gold, but it does represent a way of diversifying your exposure to the gold markets. And considering the potential for gold to continue its bull run over the coming years to goodness knows what heights in 5 or 10 years' time, any company that has anything to do with the production of gold and silver could be very well positioned in the future. Now, as you've seen from their homepage here, Rua Gold are based in New Zealand, which is historically a very high-yielding and rich country for precious metals. In recent history, however, it has been not very able to take advantage of the richness of its resources because of wider geopolitical situations. That is changing, however, and with a very experienced and capable management team behind them, Rua Gold have acquired a number of very promising projects, and they are looking to develop them over time, which is very exciting. So go and check out their links down in the description box below. It's important to remind you that this is not investment advice, so you need to do your own in-depth research into what they're up to in their various sites and opportunities they've got. If you're interested, as I said, links in the description box below to all of the bits and bobs that you've seen here today. Once again, a massive thank you to Rua Gold for sponsoring today's video, and now back over to our precious metal ramblings. We are seeing instability in this world. That's what's fueling gold, but industry fuels silver. There is no doubt about it. Will we see a huge growth in silver just because of things like solar technology, battery powered stuff? I'm not entirely convinced that's going to happen. We've seen people talk about that for a very, very long time, but it's not necessarily guaranteed to make silver go up and up and up. What I think is more likely to happen is that we are seeing, I've certainly seen anyway, a massive shift in the culture of stacking silver over this last 5 years, really since COVID. And I think that there is this shift. When you look at some of the big mints out there, the Royal Mint being a prime example, 5 years ago they were turning over complete revenue of around 500 million. Now it's nearing 2 billion. They've quadrupled the amount they're doing. And that collector market, that bullion market, is growing, and it will continue to grow, I think, as we go. Now, will it overtake the industrial uses of silver? I don't think so. But we will see that play a bigger factor going forwards into the future for its markets. Now, as I said, I'm not somebody who really knows the ins and outs of these kind of things. I just feel like there is a shift, and there is a shift that has happened already, and that shift will continue, I think, over the coming years. Gone, I think, are the days where we can just say silver's this sort of byproduct of all these other movements in the market. It's got its own momentum going right now. And we've seen that happen over the last 5 years since COVID, and I think that shift is here to stay. In the more recent past, though, in this last year, I will say that I have seen silver continue to hold its value very well at this bottom line, this new bottom line. I think in the UK, pounds per ounce wise, we're talking nothing less than 17, and now we're sitting at 21, or no, 22 in fact at the time of filming. I feel like 20 now is that new 17. It's just pushing up, it's pushing up, it's pushing up. And a lot of people go, well, silver's not as good as gold. And I say to them, well, if you bought silver at spot price, granted it's difficult to buy silver at spot price, but if you compare spot price for spot price, back in 2015, when I got started stacking silver and gold, silver was around £9.50 an ounce, £9.50 an ounce. Dirt cheap, goodness me. Could you imagine paying that little for your silver right now? And gold at the time was about £800 an ounce. Now we look at the prices now. Gold is £1,850 an ounce, which is over double. Silver, £22 an ounce, which is roughly, give or take a little bit, the same increase. I have to excuse the plane flying overhead. It's an old prop plane. Look at that. That's very cool. Well, you can't see it, but I can. Anyway, the point is that silver over that long period has done very well. In the short period, it's lagging behind a little bit, and I think that's interesting. So I do think there is this fundamental shift, and you ask yourself, can you ever see silver going back down to those £9.50 an ounce price points? The answer is whole no, big no. Gold will never drop down to £800 an ounce again. There is far too much change that's happened in this world to let that happen. And the same is said for silver. Now, in terms of where the potential might be, I've always been a never mooner. I don't think that silver will go to the moon. I don't think it will go colossally high. But I do think that it will slowly continue to climb over the next 10 years. We've only got to look at the fallout that is still with us from COVID, from all of the money spent on COVID, and all of the debt that's been incurred around the world. So I think it is interesting to see where things will be when it comes to that precious metal that we all love so much. I think we'll see some increases. I can possibly see £25 an ounce happening this year. £30 an ounce would be very interesting. About where it will finish, I don't know, but I can't see a big climb up to £50 an ounce. Don't buy silver if you're hoping that to happen. It's just not going to happen. But I can certainly see that slow increase over time continuing to rise. Got a second plane coming over today. Honestly, live in the countryside. I think I'll have some nice bird sounds in the background, and I get 2 planes coming over just as I'm filming. Isn't that typical? Anyway, there is a lot of potential, I still think, for silver, and I'm seeing that reflected in the market. I mentioned in my video last weekend that there are a lot of people who are just holding silver right now, looking to the future, where it might be in 5 years, 10 years. And I would say, if you are looking right now at the markets and you're thinking, wow, my silver's still not quite where I want it to be, just hold on, just wait. Now, where gold will be in 5 years' time, it's anybody's guess. It could be £2,000 an ounce, £3,000 an ounce, or more. What I think will be really interesting is to see how people cope with that change in price points, both for silver and gold over time. I know from me, as a business perspective, from the Backyard Bullion poured silver side of things, it feels, it feels bad. I'm not going to lie. It feels bad to buy silver at £25 an ounce plus, when 5 years ago we were buying silver at £16 an ounce. That increase has happened, but that increase is passed on at the other end in the costs. So it's a very interesting market, very interesting world, and certainly one to not lose sleep over, I think is my general message. So as we just wind down now with some beautiful bird sounds in the backgrounds, I will say, if you are holding silver and gold right now, the best thing that you can do is to not sell it. Can you accumulate more? Yeah, I do think there's potential for more silver growth in the future. And if you're buying right now and getting good deals like on the Silver Forum, then you can really kind of accumulate some nice weight to your stack at prices which are not unheard of. You can get stuff at £24, £25 an ounce. I've been selling silver in the Buyers Club last year for £27 an ounce. Certainly something to think about. So go over and check. There's a third plane. I can't believe this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, I need to contemplate my life choices. It's typical, isn't it? You sit down to film a video, 3 planes fly over. Anyway, go and check over on the Silver Forum for some good deals and sign up for the giveaway for this 10-ounce bar. It's well worth getting your name in the hat to win this beautiful piece of silver that we made. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thank you all for watching, and I will leave you with another beautiful 20 seconds of plane noises and the chirping of the birds. Thanks to the Cool Kids Club members and to the Backyard Bullion Ramblers. We will see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Just realised there's also some kind of heavy machinery in our next door neighbour's garden. You might be able to hear that as well. Typical.